Beautiful people, and welcome to the ALG podcast where I am by myself. This is David Roden, and I'm super grateful you are here doing something a little different. I am going to be hosting this episode, and this is going to be an active episode. So just kind of for you guys to understand, this is going to be an active episode because I want to teach something that has helped me immensely when it comes to who I used to be and the habits and rituals I brought about today, and like tangible tools you can utilize to help you live a healthier and happier life. And so what I want to share with you is, well, first off, I don't want to say like I've always been this happy, funny, go lucky guy that keeps perspective on life. Why? Because when I was 18 years old, 400 plus pounds, I just want to share a story to start out. I can vividly remember being in my garage with my dad and having panic attacks and being so overwhelmed because my body was failing me. My mind was failing me. My grades were plummeting, were to the point where I was worried I wasn't going to get into college. And so you're 400 plus pounds, you're pre-diabetic, you have high blood pressure, and now you don't even know if you're in college. And all this kind of stuff is compounding. And I was having some nasty panic attacks with my dad, and he'd give me the paper bag, try to breathe, working on these things. And so I wasn't always just this funny, go lucky, always kind of perspective person. I've built it. I've built habits. I've built rituals around it to make it more sustainable. And so, number one, I'm not the edge. I didn't come up with this stuff. This is one of these things to me is like, don't take me as your guru. Don't take anyone in ALG as your guru. Try it. See how it works for you. If it's a great tool for you, fantastic. If it doesn't work for you, that's fine. That's not the point. The point is to start changing, switching things up to figure out how you can sustain and live a healthier and happier life. And so accountability, obviously, of knowing that you can change some things, you can tweak some behaviors you have, you can do these things to help you live a better life. And so I want to share that to you today. For this, I'm going to talk about the triad of the way Tony Robbins explains your emotional state, how you're able to keep motivation, how you're able to do the actions you want to do. And so there are three things that control your emotional state and like how you keep the energy levels you want to sustain working out all the time, eating healthy, doing the things you know you should be doing. And so number one is physiology, how you use your body. It's fascinating that if I were to ask you right now, what does a depressed person look like? What are you going to say? Are they up high, or are they slumped over? Are they speaking very soft? Are they speaking very loud? All these things of how you use your body actually changes the neural pathways, the endorphins being released in the brain to physically change how you feel. And so that's the first step in order to get more quote unquote emotion for motivation, is how you use your body. So let's just try it real quick with me. Try it with quick. So just if you're not, just slump over, look down, breathe shallow. Tell me how you feel. Now, we're going to sit high. We're going to get a high chest. You're going to breathe deep, belly, breathe out. Look up, open your arms. Tell me you don't have more energy. You will, because your physiology affects your emotional state and how much energy you have. Just like that, you can already feel the difference. So that's number one, that's why physical activity is so important to deal with stress and anxiety and things, because just by moving your body more, the brain chemistry changes to get you to become more healthy and more happy. That's the reality. Number two is focus. You want to know why I felt so depressed all the time and I was so anxious? Well, the focus is, what kind of questions are you asking yourself? Your brain is just a big old supercomputer. Whatever you ask of it, it's just going to do. It's just going to, you ask it, why do you suck? And your brain's going to go, bloop, 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 bloop. Well, you were in last place. You were picked last year for this. You were, why am I stupid? For me, I asked myself, why am I not good enough? And I went, blah, blah, blah. Well, I was actually in slow reading classes in 4th and 5th and 6th grade because I was a slow reader. And, oh, well, you got this, you got this, you got this. The questions you ask yourself, your brain's just gonna answer. And the crazy part is, whatever you ask of it, it may not even come with a reality answer. It's just going to find something that fits what you ask of it. And so at the time when I'm 18 years old and I'm depressed and I'm anxious and all this kind of stuff, what was I asking myself? I was asking myself, why am I not good enough? Why can't I have this? Why am I such a failure? Why can't I commit? You start asking these very negative questions and your brain's going to dive into those to give you answers. And then you get caught. So start getting in the habit of, how do you feel when you ask the question of why am I not good enough? And then flip that same question, ask yourself this question, why am I good enough? Why can I do this? Why is this important to me? You start to ask yourself these questions, these more effective questions, and your brain is going to naturally put you in this position of positivity, of self-belief, of not limiting belief, but positive affirmation to get you moving again, focusing in a different direction. Because how is it that a kid that grew up with 2 incredible parents, dad's a doctor, mom's a stay-at-home mom, I had all the love, all the support, all the financial, everything you can ask for, or probably everything that you're telling yourself is the reason why you're unhappy. And I almost ended my life in that environment, even though I had everything, all the friends, all the joy, all the love, all the support, and I didn't see it. Why? Because I was asking myself constantly, why am I not good enough? Why am I always going to be like this? Why can't I commit? Why am I such a loser? You start asking yourself these questions and your brain's just going to focus on it. And guess what? It's going to be really hard to commit to the daily rituals you need when you're constantly belittling yourself, when you're constantly navigating these negative thought patterns. And so that's number 2. Finally is your language. The language you use dictates what things mean to you. We all have definitions for the language we use. That's why you will rarely ever hear me say problem. Why? Because a problem gives this huge energy to, oh my gosh, problems are tough. But challenges, we can overcome challenges. And you will rarely ever hear me say the word depressed anymore. Because again, that means I'm giving it power. I may be frustrated, that's fine, but the words you use dictate how you emotionally feel about something. I challenge you right now. In the next week, every time you're in a situation that would normally piss you off, I challenge you for a week to say peeved instead. And tell me, after a week of doing it, if you don't feel a little different, even though the same situation that would normally piss you off is now peeving you, tell me, do an experiment on yourself. Maybe I'm wrong. Do an experiment on yourself. See the difference, how you feel based upon those words you use. And it is fascinating how we can over dramatize problems and frustrations and situations, and we under dramatize when we're feeling good. You know, when you tell your friends, I'm doing good, but then when you're telling your friends and they ask you what's going wrong, it's, oh my gosh, my life is over. I can't handle this. Because how would your life be different if every time someone asked you what's positively going on, you went above and beyond to share the positive? And every time someone said something, well, what's wrong with your life? You went, oh, well, I'm having some frustrations here and I'm trying to figure this out. How the emotion changes to do the things you want to do because the words and the focus you're giving it change. So again, this is something that I don't want you to take blindly. I don't want you to sit there and go, oh, this must be true. Try it. I challenge you, try it. Try this for a day. Try this for a week. Think about your physiology, your focus, and your language. So if you're feeling unmotivated and you're feeling just sluggish, I challenge you to first look at yourself. What are you doing with your body when in that situation? Are you slumped over? Are you low-headed? Are you kind of like this? And you're like, well, I'm unmotivated. Well, duh, you're physically in a position that looks very unmotivated. So, first thing, let me just try this, what David says. Okay, I'm going to deep breath. I'm going to sit tall, maybe even hit my chest a little bit, give myself a little energy. And all of a sudden, wow, now I want to go to the gym. Just from that little change in how you use your body, you're going to see massive changes with the emotional state, which then turns into actions because you feel like doing the right things and it gets you moving in that direction. And number two, focus. When you feel off, when things just don't feel right, first thing, what am I asking myself? What are the things I'm saying to myself right now? Am I saying positive, empowering statements to myself? Or am I saying negative, pessimistic things to myself? Oh, I'm saying, okay, let's just take for a second. Let's take a sec back and go, okay, I know I'm saying why am I such a failure right now? Just for a second, I just wonder what this be like. What would it be like to say, why am I good enough right now? Let me just crank out 10 reasons why I am good enough. I'm good enough because I have a great soul and I know I can support people. I'm great enough because, gosh, I've lost 200 pounds. And if I can do that, I can freaking start a company. And if I haven't done this, and I graduated from high school. I graduated from college. I've done this. I've done that. Holy moly. Hey, I am fucking good enough. And you start to change these pathways. And finally, language. I challenge you over the next week, start using more fun, empowering language. When someone asks you how you're doing, I'm fantastic. I'm fantabulous. I'm just on fire, whatever it may be. You start getting in that habit. And every time something that comes up is not necessarily what you want, I challenge you just for a few days, just for a day. When something that would normally be a problem for you is now a situation, you say it. I have a situation at work. I have a situation on this test I'm trying to figure out. Whatever it may be, try it. See how it works for you and see how you feel different based upon it. And when you feel different, your actions will be different. And so that's what I want to share with you. I hope this is a little different and more tangible of an approach for a podcast episode. If you guys got some value out of it, like and share and comment. I would super appreciate it. And with that being said, guys, have a phenomenal day. I'm going to leave it with a little actually, I don't know how I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave this with 3 things I'm grateful for about today. I am grateful for my parents because they have always been such steadfast people in my life. I am grateful for not knowing everything. I'm grateful for having people that can check my ego, that can check me in keeping me in comparison to the world and the results I have and what I want out of life and what I still need to learn and everything else that comes between it. And I'm grateful for a good relationship with Christ. That's always getting better every day. I can tell you I am far from flipping perfect, but I'm definitely grateful for that. And with that being said, guys, have a phenomenal day.